up and get in the car!
Oh, hello, and welcome to the third installment of Friendcast. We have watched the 1995 classic, Hackers, and it's the DVD right here says, boot up for suspense and high-powered excitement as the rebels of the information age fight an electrifying battle in this sharp, cutting-edge adventure. And I can say with confidence, it is absolutely none of those things. They hacked streetlights.
They hacked streetlights. They hacked cars. And
I'm pretty sure those are the only things they hacked.
I mean, a lot of production value went into this movie. They used the same 5 CGI shots over and over, but at least they were CGI. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Zach, I will correct you. This booklet that comes with the DVD of Hackers, in a subsection titled, "That Ol' Hack Magic's Got Me in Its Spell," it says, despite the computer-savvy feel of Hackers, Yane Softly did not employ any computer animation to achieve the movie magic of special effects.
What?
We used the more conventional methods of motion control, animation, models, and rotoscoping to create a real three-dimensional world, because, in my opinion, computer graphics alone can sometimes lend a more flat, sterile image.
But he said computer graphics alone, so we still use them, but he used other stuff with them,
I guess.
What was your favorite epic hacking moment of Hackers?
Ooh, that's a tough one. This movie was packed full of many a hacking moment. Many same shot of this weird like city going by and like red blocks appearing. That's what constitutes hacking, like a bunch of random letters. But I think I'd have to say, maybe the part where they're like in the subway and there's all the police going to get them, and you're like, oh no, the hacker is gonna get caught again. Oh no. And then the police come up and the hackers aren't there. They're another one.
I'm sorry, that moment was too cool for me.
Yeah, whoa.
That was kind of too cool for school. My favorite hacking moment, I gotta say, was when I think he was hacking the Gibson.
Kill the Gibson.
And we see everybody, and it's hackers all over the world. We got some Japanese hackers, we got Russian hackers, Italian hackers, and like they say at one point in the movie, the hackers are creating a new breed of people.
This kid Dade, he hacked when he was like 10 or 9 or something, and his family got fined a lot of money.
I was zero cool.
Zero cool? Crashed 1,507 systems in one day. Biggest crash in history. Front page New York Times, August 10th, 1988.
Which, by the way, this is not a high school. There are tons of adults.
And also, the high school is like 10 stories high.
It's so they have like a pool on the top.
Well,
save that for
Reagan. See, that's one of the funny moments, right? Because Angelina Jolie, who's a hacker girl.
Oh, impossible.
Girl,
that can't happen.
Hacker, that's crazy. This girl hacker, she tells Day that there's a pool on the roof.
Yeah, there's an Olympic-sized swimming pool up on the roof. Take the stairs over there.
Yeah.
He goes up there, and there's not a pool, and he got hacked in real life.
In the brain.
And yet, the end of the movie, we see Dade and Angelina Jolie on the roof of a place that has a pool. So common movie logic would tell you, this is the school, but there's no pool on the roof of the school.
It's universally stupid, man.
But it's so like it feels like a dystopian future, even though this is like I want to say like the 90s. This movie takes place in. I mean, that's when the movie came out. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of segments where it looks like this cyberpunk future, like they're playing a PS1 game. And it's supposed to look. There's a lot we can say about this movie, but like, I think part of it is like, oh haha, the dated CGI combined with like the fact that this is probably not what hacking looks like.
I will say, the hacking in this movie,
I think it's safe to assume,
seems very, very unrealistic.
I don't think a bunch of CGI faces.
Well, Reagan, they're not CGI.
Yeah, they're totally hand-drawn.
Ian Softly said it himself.
Yeah. I think his name was hacked.
I think his birth certificate got hacked.
Yeah.
I think, and you know what else happened? I think somebody hacked into the editing of this movie because
early on, not even in the
early on in the movie, we see Dade sees Angelina Jolie for the first time, and it's just like it cuts to static like
cartoons,
and it's like cartoons of like and then like a black and white movie of two people kissing. And then shows
World War II footage.
Yeah, just a bunch of like random, rapidly edited stuff, and then it happens again. He like is angry at her, and then it shows like a clip from like I don't know, like it looks like a Twilight Zone episode or something of like somebody strangling a woman, and then it's never happened. It never happens again.
It literally only takes place in like a 20-minute section at the very beginning.
The ending of this movie. It's probably one of like the most rushed endings. Like I did not expect to start seeing like producer.
Yeah, it's so abrupt. They just like the bad guy.
I didn't even recognize that the bad guy got caught because he was in disguise.
Yo, yeah.
Must have been a really good disguise then.
Yeah, it must have been a really good disguise because I thought they just arrested some random old man.
Basically, yeah, it just ends with them in the pool, as I said before. Just kissing, swimming around weirdly in a way that does not seem very realistic at all.
How do they kiss and tread water? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the plot of this movie, it's just like they hack. There is the anti-hack guy who is uncool.
Oh yeah, him. He gets bullied hard in this movie.
Richard Gill. Or Richard
He has a nickname, we can't say it.
Yeah.
I guess you're just gonna have to watch.
You're just gonna have to watch Hackers.
But he definitely doesn't deserve it. I mean, he's just kind of there. Like when they arrest the hackers, he's not like as bad as the main.
He's not.
The scene where they bully him is like, it's like, yes, I get it. They're like, oh, he's the uncool non-hacker. He hates hackers. He's so bad. But like, it doesn't service the story at all. He just gets bullied. They make people think he's deceased.
Yeah, a waiter comes to his table when he's on a date and like cuts his credit card in half with comically large gold scissors. Everything in this movie is so heightened and cartoonish, and every single thing that any character says in this movie.
The outfits in this movie.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We'll get to those, but. The dialogue in this movie, they say, like, I don't even, like... It seems like every phrase in this movie is designed to go in the trailer, or it's designed to go in a poster.
Difficulty mode 7. Again, we cannot say what that line is in context to.
I don't really understand the whole deal with, like, capsizing the boat. Like, who was responsible for that? At one point, it's implied that by the way, spoilers for Hackers. At one point, it's implied that, like... Oh, the government set this up, and they're trying to blame the hackers for capsizing a boat. And you're just like, what? Huh? The main villain of the movie, he is, I guess, also a hacker. And he's like...
half government, half
half hacker. And he's in this big room, and there are, like, giant towers that have, like, scrolling text on them. And it's like this giant screen and like this massive. It looks like a bunch of like cool high tech stuff, and it's like
it reminds me of like dogfighting segments in Star Wars because they're like oh, come at me, you can't hack my computer.
Yeah, and like anytime they're on the computer, like the computer visuals are like projected onto their face.
It's probably the most 90s movie ever made.
I have to agree. This is like wouldn't really call this a so bad it's good movie, because it's competently made. Like it looks pretty nice.
Yeah,
it's like
some cool set.
It's well shot. I would say this is kind of on the verge of becoming a so bad it's good movie.
But it's just not quite there yet.
I'd say, okay, I don't think it's so bad it's good. I think it's bad, but it's got some elements that like
it is very dated. I think it is super dated.
It's got elements that you can't really appreciate because they're not good, but it's like, you know, stuff you can laugh at, like the funny lines or the ridiculous outfits. I'm saying as I see this image of Angelina Jolie wearing
a swim turtleneck with a
I think it's like a Superman.
It looks like a what like a NASCAR jacket.
We've got Dave,
and then you've got
who wears a big who what does Dade have?
He
on
wears
his
like military clothes.
He's got like a bulletproof vest.
The worst
Toaster, IV drip, shoelace. Like that's what's on his outfit.
the worst fashion offender is this character. I think his name is like Serial Killer, like as in like Fruit Loops.
Meet serial killer. As in Fruit Loops.
He's like he has these like dreadlocks, and he's played by Matthew Lillard, who is Shaggy. Goes so over the top in this movie.
Yeah.
What was the line he said? He was like, "That's superhuman." Or he says something along those lines.
He's like superhero like.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Superhero-like even.
Sanity.
There's a lot going on in
There's
Hackers.
a lot
okay?
going on in Hackers.
Each hacker has their own symbol. The music is like wall to wall, like boom, 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 boom. It's like crazy club music, and then it ends on like the Titanic song or something.
Yeah.
Almost every scene has at least some action in it. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, like I mean, I will give the filmmakers props. Like they tried to make it as exciting as possible. They really tried their best to make hacking look cool. And also Dade, I believe the actor is British. He puts on like this American accent that makes it sound like he's like a 1940s newsreel announcer. He's like,
This is every financial transaction Ellingston conducts, yeah? From $1 million deals to the $10 that some guy pays for gas.
The worm eats a few cents from each transaction.
No one's caught it because the money isn't really gone.
I'm gonna hack the planet! Blah!
Hack the planet!
Oh, why don't you read that segment of the website being hacked?
Oh yeah, this is the funniest part of the booklet. When MGM UA set up a website for hackers, it was like dangling candy in front of a child. Soon after the site was established, it was hacked! A group calling itself the Internet Liberation Front managed to doodle all over the photographs of hacker stars Angelina Jolie and Johnny Lee Miller, and replace the verbiage, "This is going to be an entertaining, fun promotional site for a movie," with, "This is going to be a lame, cheesy promotional site for a movie."
They've gone too far.
It just got
Yeah, I don't know how they recovered. The studio good-naturedly decided to maintain the site during the theatrical run of the movie in its altered form. Which, let's be honest here, that's not true. So guys, I'm gonna ask you another crazy question. I'm gonna hack into your brains. If you could give this movie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much you enjoyed it based on what it set out to do, what grade would you give?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of movies I find hard to watch sometimes. This wasn't hard to watch, though, because it was unintentionally funny, but it was still funny all the way through. So I think I'd be maybe a little bit too generous, but I think I'd give it a 6.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I would give this like an 8.5, because I was never bored, and if you manage to not bore me in a movie, I think that's pretty good. And I have to disagree, though, with Zach. This was hard to watch at times.
Yeah,
just because some of the things they say are just so cheesy.
1984, you're right, man. That's a typo. Orwell's here now. He's living large. We had no names, man. No names. We are nameless.
But I'd give it an 8.5. It was an entertaining ride all the way through.
So, I'd say this movie is pretty understandable in terms of, like, plot, but in terms of, like, the hacknobabble, I don't know what I was looking at, so for that alone, I'm gonna give this movie a we should have watched Street Fighter out of 10.
Okay. Well, that's a foreshadowing for our next episode, maybe, if I can find the DVD. By the way, we're watching these outside, because we can't really go inside because of COVID, so we have to watch them on my TV that's outside, which doesn't have any streaming services, so we have to scrounge for a DVD. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time on the Friendcast.
Very impressive.
Superhero-like even.